A few things on getting started. So my name is Kimberly. I'm a client relationship specialist here at EMDESK. I'm here to help you along your way. So just to go over once again the points that we'll be doing today. So creating a workshop with templates that are provided, customizing workspace settings, mapping project participants, crafting projects and work plans, inviting users and configuring their access rights, and finally, building a budget tailored to your specific needs. So I'll go ahead and begin immediately. So I'll go back here. Let's see, so I'll share my different screen here. Okay, so I will start from the very beginning. So here I'm on my EMDESK sign up page that you see here. So of course, if you haven't already registered with us, you'll be able to see the sign up now button here at the bottom. Basically, you'll need to enter in your email address that you see here, enter in the password that you would like to use, retype the password, and then click in the confirmation code that you see here. So here, for example, SWN. And as an example, then you type in the code here and then click sign up. So since I don't want to start from scratch, I already have an account here. I can just click sign in because I already have an account and click sign in. So this will lead me to a current project that I already have, but most likely when you the very beginning of starting a workspace with us, you'll be led to create a workspace here. So now essentially here I'll have my workspace name here. And basically I'll be able to create a new workspace. You can do this for your organization, so your company, for example, or you can do a specific project, however you would like to use it. So I will just use it as EMDESK, and I'll use it here for workspace URL. Check the time zone, check the currency if everything is up to date. And now you'll be led to our templates section. So I can select blank workspace or a template that you see here. Now I have here various options. So I have the most used templates here at the top, but then I have general, research, construction, marketing, and software. So all of these are basically possible for you to use for your workspace. So for example, you can select or see all the options here. So Horizon Europe options, for example, and then you can select them. As you see here, it says we preload demo data in the workspace in order for you to kind of play around with data that isn't yours. You can select to turn this off. So I can turn this off and I can essentially just have a blank template, but essentially that is already structured to my specific needs here. And then you can click next. So now afterwards, you'll be able to invite your team member now and essentially add in their email address here and then click let's go. So as I already have a project already set up and ready, so you can also click let's go. I can go ahead and click onto my previous project. So you'll see that I have my recycle project here. It's completely empty, and I will just basically start from the very beginning. So to start, I will start off with going actually to the customization settings section. So you'll find it here at the bottom left. You'll see settings here. Click under settings, and then I will go into the customization. Now, the reason I have selected to go into customization first is essentially because I just want to double check and make sure that all the general information is correct. So all the information from the very beginning is correct for your specific project. Now, here, for example, we have activity types, activity event status, for example. So these are just the default that you see here. I can switch them around if needed. So maybe I don't need not started. I can put this at the beginning and then change to completed, for example. I can delete them if needed by using the pencil icon. And then I can 3 dots here at the top, duplicate or delete if needed, or I can change the colors here as well. So it's really up to you to play around with this, but I believe the most important part of this customization section is to check for the cost categories, indirect cost rates for the entire project, and also the funding rules. So I would highly recommend to double check this once you've created your new project. Make sure everything matches up, make sure everything matches. You can even take a look at it. So here, for example, I have the funding rules for a default RIA project, click the pencil icon, and you can see that the funding rule will apply for all participant types or will apply for all activity types, cost categories, and so on. So we have the funding direct and funding indirect here. In the case this is wrong, you're able to adjust it here, or you can simply delete it and create a new one. Then click here, save funding rule here at the bottom. Lastly, I have the ID settings here. So the ID settings here that you see is basically the structure of your workspace. So as soon as I create the first level, it'll show up automatically as project. Then the second level, then third, then fourth, you see work package, task, subtask, and so on. And we even have deliverables and milestones here. And then we also have our participants level here. So here, for example, we have P, but maybe I will change them into staff, for example, and then change this into sub staff, just as an example. Oops, I'll go ahead and delete this and then save the changes. So now you'll be able to see this under the participant section. This is basically can be used in different ways. You can have, for example, participant as the first level and then staff at the second level, or team member, for example, here basically allows you to customize the workspace to any specific needs. So yes, then that's after double checking this customization section, everything looks fine. And now we can essentially get into the general settings as well. We can go to general here. This basically will be able to change any information about the workspace. So here, this is a single project workspace that you see here, or I can also have sub projects here. Can click into this. This is my recycle project. I can have the name here, time zone, currency, and description. And you can also upload an image directly here. You can also select your reporting periods as well. You can set them up all here, add report here at the bottom, select the project that it's for. Of course, we have no projects at the moment, and then enter in the reporting periods for these projects. So now I will jump into my workspace and my work plan section. So this will also be something that you'll see. You'll have a create your first workspace section here. And essentially to get started is very quickly add project here at the bottom. This will be the very first level. So as you saw in the ID settings, the work project was the first level. You'll see even project A here. And I will set this up as my first project. So I will do this as Leapfrog. As my first project. If you want to add in description of objectives, you can do so also here. For now, I will just set this up as the start date as today, let's see, the first. We'll leave it in this way, and then we'll have this apply for the next 3 years, for example, 36 months, and save. So now we have the first level of the project. So now, of course, we want to build up and create work packages here. So now I'll go ahead and click the small arrow right next to the pencil icon. So you can go all the way here to the end, small arrow, and you'll be able to see add sub activity here. And now the second level will appear as work package because it's the second level under work project. And now I can say, okay, Leapfrog, work package 1, just as an example. Again, same idea, enter in the same information here if needed, and then save activity. If needed, I can also enter in a second work package by doing the same under the project A. So again, click the small arrow, add sub activity, and then enter in here Leapfrog, work package 2, and save activity. So essentially, this is how you will begin your workflow. So now I have my project, I have my 2 work packages here. If in the case you need to create a third level, for example, a task, then it's the same idea. I can go to work package 1, click the small arrow, add sub activity, and now you see activity task 1.1. So again, same idea, Leapfrog, task 1.1. And now you'll see it's slowly building up. So project, work package, task, and so on. I can even do a task under work package 2. Once again, click here, add sub activity, and then have the same idea. So this is how you'll be able to build up your work plan here and slowly see it progress. So, of course, this is simply one project that I can begin to map out here. If needed, if you have the correct subscription plan, then you can then create another project. So I can add a project here. Now you'll see that it's project B. And now I can label this Renaissance. And now I can have project B already created here. And now let's see here. I have project A and project B. And essentially, it's the same structure here. So if in the case you've made a mistake, or if in the case you don't need something, then you can always delete it. So I can go again, project B. I can even click somewhere on the side where the sidebar will come up. And I click the three dots once again here at the top. And then I can delete this. Or once again, I can go to the small arrow on the side and scroll down and select delete here. So I will delete this, I will say yes, and now the item is removed. So this is the idea, very easy to maneuver here, very easy to add on, create a hierarchical structure here. It's all very, very basic that we have here. If in the case you need to move it, so here, for example, I have a work package or a task 1.2.1, and I want to create it or move it as a third work package. At the top, be able to see the option move. So I can simply click here. And now you'll see this is insert below work package 2, since this is where we are. Or I can set it as after previous element. I will click here. And now you'll see at the top, work package 3. So now I can change this just so that you get a better idea. Work package 3, the ID setting is already set to work package 3. And now you can save. So now you see 1, 2, and 3 here. So once again, just to repeat, at the top, you'll see move, and there you can select where to put this element here in the case you accidentally put it in the wrong area. This is where the movements will essentially be structured and take place. So yes, basically this is how you'll be able to map it out. Now, we also have this option here to select assignee. So I will go back and go into the participant section here at the left. As you see, I have a few of them already here. So I have Ellen, Sarah, Jane, and Kathy, for example. But again, it's the same idea as the work plan. So at the bottom, I have add participant, bring it up here, and there I can add in, for example, George, Pitt, and then save the participant. So now you see I have all my staff members here. I have Ellen, Sarah, Jane, Kathy, and also George Pitt also here. Maybe I will change him also to George. Yeah, so that's a little bit easier, and save. Now you see George here, Kathy, and so on here. So the same idea. If I want to create a sub-staff member, I can just go to George, click on the small arrow on the side, add sub-participant. And now you see sub-staff 5.1, participant sub-staff 5.1. So I can do seconds. Let's see. And now this is the idea that we have here. Now I can save this participant. So now this will essentially appear under George that we have here. Give it just a little bit of time here, but this is the idea of setting up the general structure for the participants. So now I have staff here, second participant here under George already labeled here. So this is basically how you can begin structuring very quickly your participants and also going into the work plan and structuring the work plan as well. So once again, if you want to delete a specific participant or delete a specific substaff, for example, I can go down here, click the small arrow, select delete, and click yes, delete. And now this person has been removed. Now, going back under the work plan, we'll see, like, once again, we have assignees here. And this is quite helpful if you have a small team working on many different work plans or many different, work packages or many different projects. Then you can directly assign someone to each section. So for example, work package 1, click on the side where you see the sidebar gets lit up here, and there you can select assignees. And now these are my users that I have in EMDESK, and I can click James Snow, for example, working on work package 1, click save activity, and the same idea for work package 2. Save activity. And now I'm able to identify who exactly is working in what section in the work plan. So you can directly identify them, you can directly assign them so that you know what they're responsible for and what their duties are. So that's quite nice about having these assignees option under the work plan and having everything structured here as well under the participants. So one section that I have to mention here is under the participant section is that we also have the financial cost rates that we have here. We have personal cost rates. We have 3 of them here: junior project manager, cost rate project A, and cost rate project B as well here. And the idea here is to add a personal cost rate that someone can use in order to basically create their efforts in the project. So I'll start from scratch. We have George. Second tab at the top is financial profile. Click here, and it says no cost rates have been created. I can add a personal cost rate here at the bottom, and then enter in all the detailed information. So I'll enter it as George Pitt. Use the unit as person month. Currently, I can enter a description, hours a day, days of month if needed, and then I can enter in their current rate. So per month, of course, you'll see at the bottom, the rate is euros per person month. Now you'll see it's set to 8,000. I can enable this only for budgeting, or I can enable this only for expenses, for example, or I can enable this from a specific time period as well. So as you see, valid from and valid until, and then I can save the cost rate. And now you'll see I have George Pitt for the personal cost rates here under staff 5, which is George Pitt, of course. And then I can also create multiple personal cost rates. This is quite helpful once you're planning out the budget, or once you're planning out or setting the expenses as well. You can use this in order to calculate how much each person's effort had cost you. So last, I can go back here. Last option that I forgot to mention under the work plan is actually the events. So events are deliverables or milestones within your project. So I showed you how to add a project, and I showed you also how to add an activity here. But you also see an option here, add event. So I can click here, sidebar will come up, can enter the name. So I will put deliverable 1, and you'll see type is deliverable, but if it's in the case it is a milestone, I can click here, and you see that I can also enable it to be a milestone. So for now, I will set a deliverable, select a lead participant that's essentially responsible for them, if not, or I can enter in the due date. Of course, I can do it for tomorrow, for example, and then save the event. Now you'll see I have deliverable A.1 because it's under project A, and it's the first deliverable. Same idea if I do a milestone. I can click M for milestone. I'll do milestone 1, and then enter in the date. I can do this also for next year, or next month, sorry. Save the event. And now this is how you'll build up. So as you're building everything in, you have deliverable 1, milestone 1 here, project A, work package, and so on. All this information is essentially already setting up in the Gantt chart. So this is exactly what I've just created right now, if you can remember work package 1 through 3, basically, and the 2 deliverables, and this is how it is shown here. So I have work package 2 and 3, project A here. I have my deliverables and milestones already set up here, and you'll see the full duration of the project, which is quite nice. And this is, again, done automatically. I can then export this view if needed, and then use this whenever I need to show it again chart somewhere. So it's pretty simple as it's done automatically. There's no extra effort needed. So everything basically is configured automatically. Finally, well, no, there's 2 more sections that we'll need to go over. So I will go over inviting users. So of course, you can either do this alone, this project setup service, project setup alone by yourself, or you can also add in other users in order to basically have them do this with you. So if you haven't seen, I've gone down under the users section. And then you'll see at the bottom, invite new user. And basically I can click here, enter in an email address. You can enter in multiple email addresses and then select invite, and then they'll show up here under this section. What we also have is our guest users. So as you can see, guest users are able to come into the project, be able to see everything on EMDESK. They're just not able to make any edits or changes. So of course you can decide to add in a guest at the very beginning, but at the same time, they won't be able to help you. So at the bottom, you have invite new guest as well. Enter in their email address and they should be able to be invited. So all they will need to do is accept the invitation, create an account for themselves, and then they'll automatically be entered into the recycle project or whichever project. Now, as you can see, I have different access rights here. So you'll see here admin and manager. You have two people here who are admins and managers. You see the green check marks here. This basically means that they have full absolute access into the project. So admins basically have full access. They can adjust and customize every part of the workspace. And they're also able to see the billings and subscription information. The manager almost also has the same the same access level as the admins. The only difference is that they're unable to see the information. So the billing information and the subscription information is the only difference between admin and manager. Now, for those who do not have admin or manager, you'll see, for example, these two options, Kathy and Ellen. So there's everything is selected to off. You'll see that these different sections are selected here. You see projects and activities, participants, documents, and resources. And basically the idea here is that you're able to control what exactly they're able to see, what exactly they're able to do, and or if you want to grant them full access. So here I have a few options here. So I have, for example, manage here, but then you see I have off here, but with the orange line here. So why would I have off? I have off, read, edit, and manage. All of these, you have a little kind of information here. So create new records, update, move, and delete records. Edit is only able to update the records, so no chance for deletion or creating something new. And then you also have read, which allows them to read and not much else. And then I have off. If I've selected someone to off, then essentially they're unable to see the entire section. So as an example, I will reset it to off. So I will change it to read and then back to off so that you're able to see a good example. And then turn it to off. So here we see two offs, yeah? So one off that I've just set up and a second off that you see here. The only difference is you see a refine button and then you see kind of an orange line here. And this one doesn't. This one basically just has selected the entire project and activity section to off. But if I want to grant someone precise access to a specific work package, a task, a deliverable, milestone, then here is where you'll be able to do this. So if I only want them to edit what's currently there, I will go ahead and give them edit rights, sorry. So I have work package 1, go down to edit, and also task 1.1 will be automatically selected because it is the child of work package 1, and then I can save changes. So now you'll see also there's an orange line there now, and you can see now edit work package 1 and task 1.1. So the same idea goes for participants, same idea for documents as well, and resources. You're able to fully manage what exactly they have rights to, what exactly they can do, and this is basically how you'll be able to control everyone's rights there directly under this user section. Now, of course, this comes in handy when it is basically time for someone to report their budget, or sorry, create their budget. So I'll go ahead and go to the budget section. And I haven't set any budgets yet, but again, I can go down to the bottom left, add budget, and begin adding in my budget for my project. So I can select the activity. I can put it under the entire project, so project A, or I can select to put this under a specific work package, task, or work packages here. It's up to you. All of them are possible. I will go ahead and start to put a budget under the entire project. and kind of give a very broad budget for project A. So I can do this, so 50,000, for example. Then I can select a participant. This is a participant that I've created. I can set it under George. And then I can enter in the cost rate. So I will adjust the cost category. I'll set it to travel. So now you'll see that George specifically has $50,000 or 50,000 euros for traveling. I can even enter a description if needed. And now I can save the budget. So this is one way to do this. So you see here I have the direct cost, 50,000, indirect cost that I've set up from the beginning, and for the total cost here, 62,500. So you're able to enter in a budget directly from the budget area. I can also do this under participants. So now you'll see George Pitt has a budget here. This is with planned funding. And now I can go, for example, to Kathy. Now I want to create a budget for Kathy. Click the small arrow and add budget here at the bottom or at the side. And then I can also add a budget for Kathy as well. And so this is the same idea. So now I select an activity, I can do this under a project as well, select a travel cost category, and then enter in for hers, again, for example, 50,000 and save the budget. And so now you'll see how it builds up. Everything is connected, everything is intertwined. Now you'll see under the budget, now I also see something for Kathy. And I can even do this once again from the work plan section. So now I can go into the work plan and I can go to project A, click the small arrow on the side, and then you'll see a add budget. And now I can apply this for Ellen. And then I can do another 50,000 for Ellen for travel. And now you'll see here, again, you'll see the budget has automatically adjusted. Now this is the full budget for project A. If you create a budget for work package 1, 2, and 3, this also aggregates under project A. So just to let you know, if you want to report your budget at the project level, please feel free to go ahead and do that. But if you want to create a budget under the work plan, please feel free to do this as well. The only thing I would advise against is to set up a budget under both, because this is unnecessary. Everything is combined, everything aggregates. So you only need to enter this information once, either under a sub work package or under the project level. You can even enter it under the task as well. It's completely up to you. You simply have to keep it consistent over time so that you don't double the effort here. And yes, just one more note, of course, under the budget. I only gave an example of travel cost category, but I can also give an example for basically for personnel cost rate. So as you see here, personnel would be the cost category here. Select the activity. I can do this under work package 1, for example, and enter this for George. And now you see cost rate has been entered. I can select either George Pitt for the rate that I have created. So I can do, for example, 1 person month will be for work package 1, for example. If I change it, it'll automatically be adjusted, 16,000 and so on, 24. This will automatically be adjusted. If you don't want to set this just yet, so if you don't want to have a cost related to the effort that is done, you can also decide to select no rate. So only effort and time. So I can click here and I will update the effort, of course. So change this to 3 months, 3 person months, for example. And now you have no cost here. You have no rate, only the effort. And now I can save the budget. And now you'll see that this is set under personnel. There's no cost to this because we only set the effort. So 3 person months here on the side. And yes, so as a very, very last note, so this is the very last point that I have here before I close this session, I'll go ahead and select the import option as well. So as you see, we have the import option here at the bottom under budget, also under participants, and also under the work plan. We have the import option. And basically here, I can select or drop an Excel file. If you want more information, of course, you'll need to either view the import guidelines. So I'm able to see a little bit more information about the importation into EMDESK. I can also import expenses, import budget, for example, get more information from there. And then if needed, you also can download a sample spreadsheet and essentially use this sample spreadsheet on your own in order to fill in your own information and basically use the sample spreadsheet to upload any information onto EMDESK as well. So essentially, this is done automatically. So please feel free to try this on your own. If you need any assistance, you can always reach out to us, either to our support team, support@emdesk.com. You can also click the small question mark here at the top. This will lead you to a little bit more information. These are some of our help articles that we have, should be able to assist you as well. So how to use the work plan, for example, and even click out of it. So now I have how to use the work plan, get more information about each one. This basically just gives you a short overview of what I've just gone over. But if needed, I can also select the Ask button here at the top. There you can enter in your email address, you can enter in your question, click send a message, and this will go directly to our support team. So yes, that's basically the very first steps on getting started on EMDESK. If there are any questions, I would be happy to take a few. If not, absolutely no problem. I'll go ahead and close out the session. So we'll wait just a few minutes. Please feel free to use the chat box that we see here at the bottom. And you can also raise your hand if you'd like, and I can also allow you to speak. So it's up to you. So if there are no questions, of course, once again, please feel free to test this out yourself, see how easy or difficult it is, and if you have any questions or if you're having a hard time with anything, please feel free to reach out to us at any time. So I'll go ahead and close out this session as I'm unable to see any questions here, and move back into my slides. So I'll be able to close out this session just for some last minute information. So please feel free to basically take a look at our EMDESK Academy page. We have free webinars, articles, and handy guides that may be of assistance to you in your project management process. You can also stay in the loop with our expert sessions, articles, and updates. We provide all this information via our LinkedIn page and also Twitter page. So please feel free to follow us to basically be informed of all this information. So I thank you very much for your attention. The recording will be sent to your email address. And of course, please feel free to contact us at any time at contact@emdesk.com. Thank you so much.